Welcome back to Desert Smoke Reviews. This is Justin.
Wyatt, Steve.
Tonight we're going to do the Man of War. We've done the Man of War Virtue, the Man of War Ruination, and the Armada. That Armada was a hell of a cigar. But we're going to do the original, Man of War. It's a very nice, dark brown wrapper. It's very fine veins. One prominent right here. Got one little stretch mark. Nice firm pack. Cap's done well. Looks like a decent stick. Aroma, I don't get a whole lot actually. Maybe some rich tobacco, but that's maybe about it. And that's still stretching for me. I don't get a lot off. Off the foot, actually off the foot I get a lot more. I get like a barnyard and earth. What?
Yeah, I agree. Very, very earthy cigar. Pretty firm pack. I mean, every Man of War that we've had so far has had an incredible draw and a very firm pack, and that's very rare for cigars, I think, but they make it work. But off the aroma, yeah, very earthy. On the wrapper, yeah, Justin's right. There's not much there. There's maybe a little bit of like baker's cocoa or something. Maybe that's coffee, but not a whole lot there. But on the foot, and it's like all of that is intensified. And to me, that's, I'm not sure what that is. It's almost like, the Nesquik powder stuff that you use to make chocolate milk, when you open that up and that smell. I mean, it's very, very nice, and I'm hoping that's what this cigar tastes like. Steve?
Thank you, Wyatt. I agree, except I don't get much of the powdered. I have to sneeze from the Nesquik. I have one prominent vein in the cigar. I don't get too much aroma-wise off of the wrapper, but off of the foot I do get that musky earth barnyard smell. That's about all I have so far. Shall we
Let's get it cut up and toasted up.
That's a horrible cut. Me too.
Very rich, earthy flavors off that first puff. There's a little bit of that fleeting pepper at the back of my tongue, but that's pretty much gone, and it just leaves this really, really just deep, rich earth. And some of that cocoa, I get that, but mostly for me, it's just lots and lots of earth. Excellent start. Pepper and retrohale too.
I agree, very earthy. Like a black pepper on the tip of my tongue. Still there. Relatively long finish. Still taste that pepper. Some deep earth. Very nice start. Steve?
I agree. It's interesting. We don't usually have cigars that are so consistent, but it seems like we're all getting the same thing. I do get some of the earth, some of the pepper, definitely a bit more on the retrohale, but not too much else. A very pleasant cigar. Let's see. Maybe even a subtle hint of some wood, but mostly earthy, and pepper definitely describes the finish. Let's see if it changes. See you in a third.
We'll get into the first third.
Oh, welcome back to Desert Smoke Reviews. We're about a third way through this Man of War, and for me, the pepperiness has picked up a little bit more. It leaves a bit of like a bite on the tongue afterwards, but very pleasant. And the earth is still there. So far, a pretty good even burn, and pretty good cigar. Why?
Yeah, exceptional. We've had quite a few of the Man of Wars, and we haven't had a bad one yet, and this one is turning out to be one of the better ones. I had to make one little touch-up that didn't look like it was going to correct itself, but other than that, great construction, great even draw, you know, as usual for Man of War cigars. And the coffee, to me, I've lost a lot of that, or I mean the flavor for me. I've lost most of that pepper, but on the finish, for me, it's just kind of this coffee. There's still that deep, rich earth, and I still get kind of that baker's cocoa chocolate taste to me. Very, very good cigar to end your day with. No complaints. Justin?
Yeah, this is a great stick. Its burn isn't perfect, but never needing a touch up. Draws a little snug, but nothing to complain about. Body is about a nice solid medium in body and about the same in strength. For me, the pepper has almost gone away completely. The overall profile is a nice, deep, rich earth. I get that in the smoke and the forefront, right on the front of my tongue. As I go into the finish, I pick up that baker's chocolate or cocoa that Wyatt had mentioned, and then it dives into a nice bitter coffee for me. This is a very good cigar. The finish is very long. I'm really enjoying it. So let's get into the second, third, and see how it goes.
Well, we're about halfway through this Man of War. Still excellent. I mean, that very long-lasting finish. I get coffee, a little bit of baker's chocolate. That pepper, for me, is pretty much gone. A very mellow cigar, but it's got that richness. I mean, just that deep flavors that really keep you interested in the cigar. Construction-wise, I've got a couple of burns that may become an issue, but I'm not going to correct them just yet. But another excellent cigar from Man of War. Just
Yeah, it's a great stick. I too have some little bit of burn issues. I think it'll self-correct, but I'm going to give it some time. My draw was a little bit tight, and I pushed a pin through it, and it's really opened it up. So no issues there. Construction's got a few little fine cracks because of that, but I think they'll burn right through without a problem. Flavors really haven't changed except for that coffee that I mentioned. The bitter coffee and the finish has really, picked up. I get that deep, dark earth, and that's throughout the entire profile of the cigar. Get a bit of like a baker's chocolate or like a semi-sweet dark chocolate, but mostly that coffee is what's taken up on the finish for me. I would ramp it up to like a medium to full in body, and still about a medium in strength, but maybe a little lightheaded getting up to when we turned on the camera, so I might even start bumping that up here in a little bit. Steve?
Thank you. It's pleasant, earthy, and the wood's still there. The spice has mellowed down a little bit, but it's still there at the finish for me. Still very enjoyable, rich smoke. There's some other more subtle flavors that are in here. Can't really put my finger on them, but very good cigar so far.
Let's get into the final third and see how it goes. Welcome back. We're at the final third of this Man of War. Just an overall really good stick. I had a few construction issues. I told you I had to push a pin through to open up the draw a little bit, and I had a couple of hairline cracks that, I mean, they're not a horrible problem. They'll burn through, but that was, it's kind of a little disconcerting to have small cracks. Had a few burn issues, but overall the cigar, the flavors, the whole profile and dimension of the cigar was worth the few little issues I had. I would ramp everything both up to medium to full in body and medium to full in strength. It kind of gives you a little bit of lightheaded here at the end as you stand up. Flavors for me are still that deep, rich earth that goes into a very nice, for me it was a nice bitter coffee. And then there's a bit of chocolate or baker's chocolate or like a dark chocolate, not a super sweet, more like a semi-sweet, kind of hanging around there in the finish. That finish is relatively long, just an overall really good stick. I really enjoyed this one. I've always enjoyed the Man of Wars. As Wyatt said, I don't think we've had a bad one. Very good. If I was going to rate this cigar, I would give it an 8.5. I really liked it. I wanted to give it a little bit higher, but I've had a few construction issues. But all in all, a really good stick. I highly recommend giving it a shot. This is a great cigar to end your day. What?
Yeah, I totally agree. I've been very, very impressed with Man of War. Haven't had a bad cigar, and there are very few cigar brands or cigar names out there that I could say that about. But yeah, excellent stick. That second half for me was all coffee. Well, it still had that undertone throughout the cigar of, you know, really rich earth and rich tobacco. Just like Justin said, a great cigar to end your day with. This isn't something that I would have in the morning or even after lunch or on the golf course. This is a cigar that you want to concentrate on. So, you know, a cup of coffee at the end of your day or whatever your drink of choice is, excellent stick. I'd agree with an 8.5. I had a couple of small little burn issues, but the tastes were absolutely worth it. Just nothing to complain about. Steve?
Thank you, Wyatt. I agree. The cigar was pretty good throughout. I've always gotten mostly the earth and the wood and the spiciness, which never really completely died out for me toward the finish, the retro hell. I haven't had any burn issues with the cigar. Construction seems to be pretty good for me. Definitely a cigar you'd want to smoke when you have some time and you can sit indoors and appreciate it. I'm pretty impressed with the Man O' War line of cigars. The ones that I've had so far have been good. I've definitely smoked this cigar again, and I agree that it's an 8.5, definitely worth smoking.
Well, in conclusion, if you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. But until next time, smoke them if you got them.